All right, so today we are diving into a really chilling story that starts with something so simple, something we've all probably done, a road trip with your friends. But this particular journey takes a really dark turn, and the line between a fun drive and a total nightmare gets very, very blurry. And this is really the question at the heart of this whole thing. What if the fog you're driving through isn't just, water vapor? What if it's carrying something with it? Something that can actually get inside your head and just change everything for you forever. It's a terrifying thought, and it really sets the stage for what's about to happen. So, let's set the scene. Our story kicks off with a pretty normal setup. A trip from the bustling city of Delhi up into the mountains of Himachal. So you've got Yavin and his friends, and they're doing something super relatable, right? They're just fed up with the city smog, and they want to get away for a bit. So they hire a cab, they're all in high spirits, and they head out early in the morning for what's supposed to be a great time. It all sounds perfectly normal, and honestly, that's what makes what happens next so terrifying. It starts off so ordinary. Okay, so this is where things start to take a turn. The mood shifts completely. Suddenly, this fun road trip starts to feel, well, a lot more sinister. And it's all because of a warning from the one person who seems to know what's coming. They're about 4 hours into the drive when they hit this fog. But listen, this isn't your average morning mist. It's described as this thick, heavy, almost unnatural blanket that just swallows the road whole. And the weirdest part? This kind of fog is completely unheard of in that area. And here it is, the first big red flag. Their driver, who's been all laughs and smiles up until this point, suddenly just goes quiet. His face goes pale. You can tell right away that this isn't just bad weather to him. He recognizes this, and he's afraid of it. He turns around and gives them this simple but incredibly serious warning. Keep the windows closed. Don't even think about opening them. It's not a suggestion, it's a desperate plea. But of course, the friends, they just kind of laugh it off. So the driver drops this word, Chalava. He says that's what this is. It's this idea that the fog itself isn't just fog. It carries illusions. It's a deception, a mirage that basically messes with your head. Of course, to Yavin and his friends, this just sounds like some old superstition. A huge mistake, as they're about to find out. And well, they're not going to be skeptical for much longer. We are now heading straight into the fog's illusion, and this is where reality just completely starts to come apart at the seams. The very first rule is broken. Rhea, one of the friends, starts to feel claustrophobic, like she can't breathe. And in that moment of discomfort, she totally forgets the driver's warning, and she does the one thing she was told not to do. She rolls down the window. The second that fog creeps in, her world just shatters. Let's walk through this nightmare. First, she looks around, and her friends are just gone. The car is totally empty, but it's still moving. Then it just stops by itself, and the doors unlock. She panics, bolts from the car into the fog, just screaming for help. And that's when she feels it, that sense that she's not alone. She turns around, and she sees this. A massive black shadow, a horrifying silhouette just standing there, 12 feet tall. Can you even imagine? The sheer size of it just turns her fear into pure, absolute terror. But here's the twist, right? None of that actually happened. Back in the real world, the second she opened that window and the fog came in, she just fainted. The empty car, the chase, that 12-foot monster, it was all an illusion. It happened entirely inside her head. The Chutakavia is a mind game. So Yavin sees Rhea pass out, and he gets furious. He blames the driver and his spooky stories, and he just yells at him to speed up and get them out of there. The driver does, and seconds later, bam, they hit someone. Yavin jumps out and sees what he thinks is Rhea lying on the road. He turns back to the car to get help, and it's empty. The illusion has gotten him now too. And that brings us to the absolute climax of this whole thing, the night of the accident. This is where the nightmare in their heads causes a very, very real disaster. He is completely trapped in this nightmare now. So what does he do? He picks up the illusionary body of Rhea, puts it in the car, gets behind the wheel himself, and just starts driving like a madman, deeper and deeper into the fog. He's trying to escape something that's already inside his own mind. And all this time, the real driver is just sitting there in the passenger seat, muttering the same thing over and over again. The window should not have been opened. Should not have been opened. It's just this haunting reminder of their one single mistake. And then the illusion plays its final card. That same 12-foot shadow that Rhea saw in her head, it suddenly appears right in the middle of the road. Yavin swerves to miss it, loses control, and they slam straight into a tree. So, what's the moral of this horrifying story? What's the takeaway from all this? Let's talk about the aftermath. The next day, rescuers find the wreck. And believe it or not, all 4 of them are alive. They survived the crash. But surviving something doesn't always mean you've escaped it. I mean, just look at the difference here. They left looking for a joyful escape from the city. They came back completely broken. Yavin's head injury leaves his mind shattered, and Rhea is forever haunted, constantly seeing that 12-foot black shadow everywhere she looks. The fog didn't kill them, no, but it stole their peace of mind forever. Which really just leaves us with one final, chilling question. The next time you find yourself on a lonely road, driving through a thick, dense blanket of fog, are you going to remember this story? And maybe more importantly, are you going to keep your window closed?